artist, last time we worked on values. Today we're going to be working on learning how to draw 3D forms. 3D forms are different from 2D shapes, and we'll talk about the difference. Eventually, next time, I will show you how to add value to your forms. All you need today is a pencil, a piece of paper, and something with a straight edge. We'll talk about that too. So get your supplies and let's get started. So artist, today I'm going to be showing you how to draw some 3D forms. But first, let's talk about the difference between forms and shapes. Shapes, I'm going to divide my paper in half. You do not actually have to do this part. I just want to show you. Shapes and forms. It's easy to confuse these two because you may see them both in math class. It can both be used in drawing. So a shape is 2D. Now when I say 2D, I mean two-dimensional. Dimension refers to the height, how tall something is, and the width. And there are lots of different kinds of shapes that you know, like circles, triangles, squares, rectangles, and I'm just listing a few here. We could keep going and fill up this whole piece of paper. Forms, however, are 3D. And when I say 3D, I mean 3 dimensions. Not only do they have height, how tall they are, they're wide, but they also have something we like to call depth, and that's kind of hard to show with just the arrows. But for example, if I were to draw a cone or a cylinder, and these are just some outlines, or maybe even a cube. These all have height, they're tall, they're wide, they have width, but then they also have this thing where it looks like they're three-dimensional. They go back into space. Now, we're going to learn how to make our drawings look like they're 3D. They're not actually going to be 3D. So we're just going to kind of use some values and some other tricks to learn how to make our pictures look 3D, not actually 3D. So let me show you. First of all, what you want to do is have a piece of paper. It doesn't need to be very large. I am going to, I think, start off by putting a circle on my paper. And you're going to say, wait, I thought a circle was a 2D shape. It is, but when we shade this in later, we use some shading with values, we'll create a look that makes it look 3D. I think I will also do something with the cylinder. So I'm going to put my cylinder down low. Notice I've put my sphere kind of low on my paper as well. Anything that I draw first, I try to put it down low on my paper. Now you'll notice I'm using the side of a pencil. I want my lines to be nice and straight. And I didn't have a ruler with me today, so I just happened to use another pencil because it has nice straight edges. You can also use something like the side of a notebook to help you get straight edges, maybe the side of a crayon box. It could be lots of different things. If you are lucky and you have a ruler at your house where you're drawing this, go ahead and use that. There's nothing wrong with using that as your tool. Now, to make this look 3D, notice this was a round shape or form, and now I'm going to make this look round. A cylinder it reminds me a lot of a can. And now when I do the top, notice I've got this curve that goes down. I'm going to do the same thing here. Trying to match that. I'm going really slow. If it doesn't turn out the first time you do this, then go ahead and just erase it. Practice this maybe before you do your final drawing. I'm going to go around this way, and I'm creating something called an ellipse. An ellipse is just a flattened out circle. It's foreshortened, so it looks a little bit flat, a little bit like an oval. So you can sort of imagine the 3D in this one. I think we need to do one more curved form. So I'm going to do this one a little bit higher in my paper. And this one, I'm going to do a diagonal straight line, meeting up with another diagonal straight lines. So this is going to be our cone. And a cone, I have it upside down right now. And the reason for that, I'm drawing my curve just like I did on the bottom of the cylinder. The reason it's sitting upside down is because I'm going to have this sitting on a table or something else where I want to make sure it wouldn't fall over, wouldn't look like it was about ready to fall over. So, all right, we've got 3 curved forms. I think we should do some straight forms as well, straight-sided, where it's all flat-sided. And to do that, I am going to use my straight edge, and I'm going to make a square. Now, if I run into another shape, it looks like I'm going to run into this, what will be my sphere. I am going to stop and not draw through it. It's okay if that happens. It'll just make it look like that other form is in front. I'm not sure I made that line completely clear. Go ahead and turn your paper around until you've got it just the way you want. Now, this looks like a square, definitely not a 3D form. So what I'm going to do, I am going to draw from this corner, I think the top corner, I'm going to draw kind of just a little guideline. It's kind of diagonal up this way. I'm going to do the same thing, diagonal going the same way. They're both pointing this way, which means they're going to be parallel. I haven't made them very long. Okay, my corner would have been here. So I'm going to just kind of put where it would have come out. All right, now I want this to be a cube, so these lines are going to need to be longer. So it's a good idea to kind of draw those little, I don't know what you want to call them, cheat first, where I had them little short lines first. So now it looks kind of like a tipped over table. And I'm going to draw the top. The top should also be parallel. Oops, I didn't get this line long enough, so I'll just make it longer. The top of this part should be parallel with the top of your square. So when we say parallel, a lot of people can get confused about what parallel, they maybe know the definition of parallel, but really what that means is that the lines are going in the same direction. The definition of parallel is 2 lines that would never meet if they kept going on forever. So if you look at these 2 lines, I'll just use my 2 pencils here, you can see these 2 lines are parallel. In fact, if I had a 3rd pencil, this one too would be parallel. If you look at the sides, those are parallel, and the top ones are parallel, even with the bottom there. So watch and check, make sure all of your lines are parallel. It's kind of a tricky thing to do. Now, if you ended up with doing this with a rectangle, instead of a cube, you will have a rectangular prism. I think I am going to do one more. I'm going to do something called a pyramid. A pyramid's a little bit like a cone, except the cone was round. A pyramid is going to have all flat sides. I'm going to make a triangle. Close off. Now it's kind of hiding, the bottom's hiding a little bit behind my cylinder. That's okay. Now, what I'm going to do, remember how I did a diagonal lines over here to make it look 3D? I'm doing the same thing here, just from the bottom of the triangle, and then I just draw to the point. Oops, my pencil moved a little on me there. All right, so now that I have this drawn, what I'm going to do is create a horizon line. Now, a horizon line is the line where the sky meets the ground. I'm going to just slide this over. My pencil's not quite long enough. Just line it up with the other part and then finish drawing. Uh-oh, I have a problem. Do you see what it is? This is a little too high, so I have a choice. I can either redraw my horizon line, which doesn't sound like a lot of fun, or I can shorten this line just a bit, this diagonal line, and just redraw this one little part, which is what I'll do. Oh, running into trouble. It's a good idea to make sure you can actually see the point of your pyramid before you draw it. There we go. Now I've got it lined up. And I have a nice start to my 3D forms. All right, artists, we've drawn the outlines for forms. I've shown you how to do 5. You only have to draw 3. You need one that has all straight sides and one that has curved sides. The other one is your choice. So you get to choose. Make sure you've got 3. Next time I show you how to finish this by shading. And I hope you've had fun with me today. See you next time. Bye.